Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is gonna be different. I was gonna film this with my book vlog of like the reviews I do of the books that I've read during the week, but I decided to post this differently because I didn't realize how many books I actually had on hold that came available. So this is going to be a library haul. So here we have my huge bag. It's my bag that I take to the library, my tote bag, full with books. And I believe there's 8 books in here that I had on hold that became available. So I guess I don't know like what order I'm going to put them in or anything, in the sense of I don't know which order I'm going to read them in. But I thought I would just go ahead and share my library haul. And this is like stuff that's added to my library TBR. So the first thing I pulled out was this from Judy Blume, and it is Summer Sisters. So a lot of these books I realized when I went to pick up are summer reads, so I'm very excited about that. So I think I'm going to be able to go through, hopefully they'll be good and I'll be able to go through these pretty fast. This one, as you can see, has the sticker over part of the synopsis. So there's going to be part of it that I can't read. But I thought I would just go through and read the synopsis for you and show you each book that I've added to my library TBR for the summer. So this one says, in the summer of 1977, Victoria Leonard's something. When Caitlin Summer chooses her as a friend, dazzling, reckless Caitlin welcomes Vix into the heart of her sprawling, eccentric family, opening doors to a world of unimaginable privilege, sweeping her away to vacations on Martha's Vineyard, an enchanting place where the two friends become Summer's sisters. Now, years later, Vix is working in New York City. Caitlin is getting married on the vineyard, and the early magic of their long, complicated friendship has faded. But Caitlin begs Vix to come to her wedding, to be her maid of honor, and Vix knows that she will go because she wants to understand what happened during the last shattering summer. And after all these years, she needs to know why her best friend, her summer sister, still has the power to break her heart. So this just sounds like it's going to be a really good summer read about friendship. So I love books about just girl friendships. That's one of the reasons why I loved the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants so much when I read it. Because it was just a group of girls. They were all different shapes, sizes, ethnicities, just who got together. All their moms were friends, and they were all born around the same date. So they're pretty much their birthdays are together, and they form a friendship since they were babies. So this is one of the reasons why I picked this up, because it was kind of like a friendship book. And it intrigued me where she was talking about what happened during the last shattering summer. So I'm like wondering what happened during that last summer that tore them apart. And I'm curious as to if that shattering summer tore them apart, why is she asking her to be her maid of honor? Because if you ask somebody to be your maid of honor, that's usually like your very best friend or somebody who's your actual sister. So this one has me very intrigued. I wanted to say it was a YA, but I don't think, because I know Judy Blume does YA novels, but this one doesn't seem like it because it just says fiction on the side and romance. So I'm wondering if it's a guy that tore him apart since it's a romance book, but I guess we'll see. Next thing I pulled out, oh, this controversial one. I got Every Summer After. I know this was either people liked it or they didn't, but I wanted to get this one because I want to read the second one that everybody's talking about now, that everybody said that this one's better than that one. But I told you, lots of summer books here. So this one says, They Say You Can Never Go Home Again. And for Persephone Fraser, ever since she made the biggest mistake of her life a decade ago, that has felt too true. Instead of spending glittering summers on the lake shore of her childhood, she stays home in a stylish apartment in the city, keeping everyone at a safe distance from her heart, until she receives the call that sends her racing back to Barry's Bay and into the orbit of Sam Florek, the man she never thought she'd have to live without. For 6 summers, through hazy afternoons on the water and warm summer nights working in his family's restaurant, Percy and Sam have been inseparable. Eventually, that friendship turned into something more before it fell spectacularly apart. When Percy returns to the lake for Sam's mother's funeral, their connection is as undeniable as it always been. But until Percy can confront the decisions she made, they'll never know whether their love is bigger than the biggest mistakes of their past. Told over the course of 6 years and 1 weekend, Every Summer After is a gorgeously nostalgic look at love and the people and choices that mark us forever. So it sounds good. It's like a second chance love, which a lot of people don't like the second chance love trope. I'm finding out I really like it. I don't know what it is about it, but just something about it I do really like, because I like that one book. Now I can't remember the name of it, but they met randomly, and then he was a book writer. So they decided to meet every year on the same date that they met before, getting to know each other, and he was writing a book the whole time about everything. So this kind of reminds me in that sense, but I'm excited to try it. It's my first one from this author, so Carly Fortune. And it's hype, so this might be the one that goes on the top for me. The first one that I read out of all these books. So the next thing, I don't remember where I heard this one from, but this one is The Roommate, from Rosie Dan. It says, An Unlikely Lease on Love. So just looks, this is not a summer read, obviously. This is just a romance. A part of it's covered up on the back here again with the sticker. I hate it when they do that at the library. So it says, Clara, she's the consummate socialite, overachieving, well-mannered, and predictable. But every Wheaton has their weakness. When Clara's childhood crush invites her to move cross-country, the offer is too tempting to resist. Unfortunately, it's also too good to be true. After a bait and switch, Clara finds herself sharing a lease with a charming stranger, Josh. Josh might be a bit too perceptive and not to mention handsome for comfort, but there's a good chance he and Clara could have survived sharing a summer sublet if she hadn't looked him up on the internet. Once she learns how Josh has made a name for himself, Clara realizes living with him might make her the Wheaton's most scandalous story yet. His professional prowess inspires her to take tackling the stigma against female desire into her own hands. They may not agree on much, but Josh and Clara both believe women deserve better sex. What they decide to do about it will change both of their lives, and if they're lucky, they'll help everyone else get lucky too. So I guess this does take place in the summer. So I guess it could technically be a summer book. I don't remember. I don't remember who I was watching that recommended this, but it sounds like it's going to be quite a spicy book. So I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. We'll see. I don't like too much spice in my books, honestly. Go ahead and pull this one out. So this is from Mary Kay Andrews. And this is the newcomer. On the front of it says, Could this fish out of water be in too deep? So I know I was sent, somebody recommended this. These look like chunky ones too. Usually I'm not big on getting hardcovers from the library. I prefer paperbacks myself, but when that's all they have. Says in trouble on the inside. It says in trouble and on the run. After she discovers her sister Tanya dead on the floor, there was a bird hanging on the side of our building staring at me. I seen it out of the corner of my eye. So it says after she discovers her sister Tanya dead on the floor of her fashionable New York City townhouse, Letty is certain she knows who did it. Tanya's ex-sleazy real estate entrepreneur, Evan Wingfield. Even in the grip of grief and panic, Letty heeds her late sister's warning. If anything bad happens to me, it's Evan. Promise me you'll take Maya and run. Promise me. With a trunk full of emotional baggage. So Letty grabs her sister Mercedes and hits the road with her, waiting wailing 4-year-old niece, Maya. Letty is determined to outrun Evan and the law, but run to where? Tanya, a woman with a past shrouded in secrets, left behind a go bag of cash and a big honking diamond ring, but only one clue, a faded magazine story about a sleepy mom-and-pop motel in Florida beach town with the probable name of Treasure Island. I've been to Treasure Island in Florida. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. The beach, so beautiful. You can see the water so crystal clear. The sands are really white. I really love Treasure Island, Florida. So it says she sheds her old life and checks into an uncertain future at the Murmuring Surf Motel. I don't know if that's a real motel down there, but I know I've been to Treasure Island, Florida, and it's so beautiful. And then it says the no vacancy sign is flashing and the sharks are circling. So, and that's the good news, because the surf, as the regulars call it, is the winter home of a close-knit flock of retirees and snowbirds who regard this odd duck newcomer with suspicion and downright hostility. As Letty settles into the motel's former storage room, she tries to heal Maya's heartache and unravel the key to her sister's shady past, all while dodging all while dodging the attention of the owner's dangerously attractive son Joe, who just happens to be a local police detective. This is continued on the Black Pack Flat. Can Letty find romance as well as a room at the inn, or will Joe betray her secrets and put her behind bars? With danger closing in, it's a race to find the truth and right the wrongs of the past. Okay, that sounds really good. It's like mystery mixed with romance, and I don't know. We'll see. But it's also a summary read, so this is kind of different for me. And I did hear about, and I don't remember who I heard about Mary Kay Andrews from, but I did hear about it from someone. So it sounds very intriguing to me. I can't wait to read. I hope I can read all these books before they're due, because technically you only get 21 days with each of them, and they only let you re-renew them if there's no holds on the books. So there's the hoping. So the next one I pulled out is also another hardback, and it's also another Mary Kay Andrews book. This one is Hello Summer. Another summer read. Told you I got all the summer books this time. I'm ready for summer. So it says, it's a new season. Connolly Hawkins left her family's small town and its newspaper, the Silver Bay Beacon, in the rearview mirror years ago. Now a star reporter for a big city paper, Connolly is exactly where she wants to be and is about to take a fancy new position in Washington, D.C., or so she thinks, for small town scandals. When the new job goes up in smoke, Connolly finds herself right back where she started, working for her sister, who is trying to keep the Silver Bay Beacon afloat, and she doesn't exactly have warm feelings for Connolly. Soon her sister gives her the unenviable task of overseeing the local gossip column, Hello Summer, and Big Time Secrets. Then Connolly witnesses an accident that ends in the death of a local congressman, a beloved war hero with a shady past. The more she digs into the story, the more dangerous it gets. As an old heartbreaker causes trouble and a new flame ignites, it soon looks like their sleepy beach town is the most scandalous hotspot of the summer. Ooh, so it sounds good. I'm kind of liking this beachy reads, mysteries. They're called romance, but this one doesn't say it's a romance on it. But I'm very curious. So hopefully I like them better than I liked the Agathas. So we'll see. Because I thought the Agathas kind of dragged on a little bit, and I got a little bit bored near the end of that book. So, and this one is a YA from Rachel Allen, The Summer of Impossibilities, another summer read. So it says 4 girls, 1 summer, and a pact to do the impossible. Like I said, I love like girl friendship books. I don't know what it is about it. I've always liked them. So this one says Skylar, Ellie, Scarlett, Amelia, and Amelia Grace are forced to spend the summer at the lake house where their moms became best friends. One can't wait. One would rather gnaw off her own arm than hang out with a bunch of strangers just so their moms can drink too much wine and sing Journey at 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 are sisters. 3 are currently feuding with their mothers. 1 is hiding how bad her joint pain has gotten. All of them are hiding something. 1 falls in love with a boy she thought she despised. 1 almost sets her crush on fire with a flaming marshmallow. 1 has a crush that could change everything. None of them are the same at the end of the summer. So that sounds pretty good. I love these really cute summer books of friendships. I don't know what it is. They just get me. So there's that. So these are all pretty much like lighthearted summer books. So the next one I got is a Colleen Hoover. Of course, I read Maybe Someday, but I'm reading the sequel now. I have finally, the sequel became available, Maybe Now. So I cannot wait to read Maybe Now because of the way Maybe Someday ended. So hopefully this picks up right where it left off. On the back, it's, oh yeah, picking it up right where Maybe Someday left off. Ridge and Sydney are, I guess, spoiler alert if you haven't read these books, but I feel like these books have been out so long, who hasn't read them? But it says, Ridge and Sydney are in love and in awe of finally being able to be together guilt-free. As the two of them navigate what that means, Warren and Bridget's relationship is as tumultuous as ever, and Maggie grapples with her illness. Determined to live to the fullest, Maggie decides to jump out of a plane and meets Jake, a cardiologist with a penchant for tandem skydiving. While getting ready for their post-jump date, Maggie comes across an old list of things she wanted to do, maybe one of these days, and decides, what better time than right now? As Maggie keeps Ridge updated on her adventures, he continues to worry about her health and safety. With every text Maggie sends, it becomes hard enough for Sydney to feel okay with Ridge's friendship with Maggie. But if she's going to move past this, she'll need to reconcile how she and Ridge came together with the fact that Maggie will always be in their lives somehow, or end up walking away from the man she loves so much. The long-awaited sequel to New York Times bestselling Maybe Someday series brings back all the characters readers fell in love with in the first novel with a brand new songs. In collaboration with Colleen Hoover as Ridge, Sydney, Warren, Bridget, and Maggie is finally embraced. Maybe Someday might be right now. So I really did enjoy Maybe Someday. So I'm really excited to read this. I just love Colleen Hoover's writing. You know, it's easy to read. I don't know, it sucks me in. Easy to read. It's always emotional. There's always some type of twist, I feel like. Which brings me to my last book I have. It's also Colleen Hoover. This one is Heartbones. So I'm very excited. This is a new one that I haven't read yet. And I also one where they covered part of the synopsis with a dang sticker. I hate when they do that. I don't know why they don't just put it up top next to this. Or put it on the bottom, you know, down here where there's not any writing. But I guess they figured nobody's reading the back because you read the synopsis online before you put them on hold. But this one I had on hold forever. It says Bea comes from a life of poverty, maybe, and somebody else comes from a family of wealth. So it looks like they're on the opposite sides. When the two find themselves spending, I assume, a lot of time together, they soon realize money is one of the few things they don't have in common. Their bond is too intense to ignore, but with only the summer separating them from the start of their new lives on opposite ends of the country, Bea and Samson decide to stay in the shallow end of a summer fling. What they don't realize is that a rip current is coming and it's about to drag both their hearts out to sea. I love how this is also a summer read. Can you believe this? This thing's been on hold for so long for me that I forgot what it was about. But I knew I wanted to read it because I've been loving Colleen Hoover so much ever since reading one of her first books, which I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what the first book was I read from Colleen Hoover, but as soon as I read the first book, I was like, I need to read them all because they're so good. So, oh, I love that. Look at the chapters. It has like little skull bones on top. I like this. And it's like giant reading. Giant print. So that is the last one. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. They only give you 21 days with each of them. I have a feeling I might read the Colleen Hoover books first just because I know I'm not going to be able to renew those. There's always a hold on Colleen Hoover books, and it's always a long hold for Colleen Hoover books at my library. So those will probably be the first two I read. I'll probably read Maybe Now and then the Heartbones afterwards. And then after that, I might try one of the Mary Kate Andrews books, because I do really want to see if I like them. Maybe I'll try the Newcomer first, because it's like a romance mixed with the mystery, to see if maybe I like it. But no, I said I was going to read Every Summer After. So I'll probably read the Maybe Now, Heartbones, then Every Summer After. Then I'll read the Mary Kay Andrews, The Newcomer. And then maybe I'll take a break from that and read The Roommate. And then I'll read maybe Summer Sisters. And then Hello Summer from Mary Kay Andrews. And I'll probably end it with The Summer of Impossibilities. I think that's the order I'm going to go into. But I'm so excited for all of these new books to read. That's one thing I love about doing like these little book vlogs and book hauls, and finding my passion for reading again. I used to love it so much when I was younger. And I love that you don't have to spend any money to read, really. You can just utilize your library. Will I always have the latest books to review? No, not really, because I'm utilizing my library because I don't have the money to buy all the latest books. And for one, I don't want to buy all the latest books because we live in an apartment. So once we buy a house, we're going to have to move everything. And I don't want to have to carry, I already have a lot of makeup and body care to carry. I don't need, and perfume. I don't need a lot of books to carry too. Although I have bought some books, but they're like older books that I know you can't buy new anymore. I bought them used, but anyways, these are the books I've added to my library TBR. Not to mention, I think I still have either two or three from my last book vlog where I was showing you that I picked up left to read. So I need to get to reading. I'm going to go now, probably. What time is it? 10:15. I'm probably going to go now and do a little more reading of my latest book that I'm reading. And then I'll maybe edit this to post. So I might go do a little bit of reading, and then maybe after lunch, I'll edit this video to post today to my YouTube channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little look at what I picked up from my library that I had on hold this week. Super excited that most of them seem to be summary books, because I'm just in the mood to read summary books this year, especially since it's summer. I love a cute summer book, although we'll see. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up down below. And if you're not yet subscribed, I would greatly appreciate it if you consider subscribing to my channel. And next to the subscribe button is the bell. You can ring that to be notified of all my future uploads. I hope you guys are having a great day, night, weekend, whenever it is you're watching this. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.